Yellowstone's Rip Wheeler star makes directorial debut with new project. Cole Hauser played Rip Wheeler in Taylor Sheridan's Paramount Plus series Yellowstone and has been working on his directorial debut since the show ended. Yellowstone aficionados were left wanting more after the Paramount Plus hit series wrapped up, with many fans especially missing Cole Hauser's portrayal of Rip Wheeler. Following the conclusion of the iconic Taylor Sheridan show, Cole has ventured into directing, premiering his latest work, Be Cowboy, at the AT&T Stadium on May 17, a homage to the Professional Bull Riders League. The short but poignant 4-minute film showcases Hauser cruising by a family of ranchers en route with a herd of cattle in tow. Cole Hauser's distinctive voice delivers a compelling message during the film, saying, "There are those of us who don't follow the herd," and musing over the cowboy spirit that defies conformity. He imparts further words of wisdom as he encounters different scenes, offering comments like, "We might not wear hats or boots or spurs, or we may, but we've always walked tall." A detour leads Hauser past a football field where an uplifted team listens intently to their coach's rallying cry. His journey culminates at a PBR arena, showcasing top-tier bull riding talent and climaxing with the sage advice: if everyone is running away from it, then run towards it and take it on. After the release of the filmmaker's piece on PBR's YouTube platform, viewers didn't hesitate to express their awe and admiration within the video's comment section. Fans like Jerry Smith 2311 warmly exclaim, "Yeah, Cowboy Yupa. Cole did an awesome job." While at AR Winsong cherishes the traditional lifestyle with, "Thank God for this way of life. Long live Cowboy." There's excitement sparkling amidst the words of at 1,224 Dalk, who hopes for more content. "Nice. Can't wait to see if PBR will do more like this one." In a move that surprises no one and yet still feels like the wildest ride this side of the Dutton Ranch, Cole Hauser, best known for playing Rip Wheeler on Yellowstone, is trading in his spurs for a director's chair. His debut film, a dusty, bone-crunching Western thriller titled Black Dust Rising. And yes, it's every bit as raw, ruthless, and emotionally tangled as the man who made Kill a Man, Bury a Secret, a household phrase. A story only Rip could tell. Set in the Badlands of Texas during the dying days of the Old West, Black Dust Rising follows an aging outlaw named Elijah Creel, once a feared gunslinger, now a haunted recluse. When a greedy mining corporation poisons the local water supply to force ranchers off their land, Creel is forced out of hiding, dragging his reputation, regrets, and a rusting six-shooter behind him. I wanted to explore what happens when a man has nothing left to lose, Hauser told reporters at a private screening in Austin, where cowboy hats outnumbered cocktail dresses. Elijah is Rip if he never found the Duttons. He's what happens when loyalty dies and justice gets personal. Fans of Yellowstone will recognize more than a few familiar fingerprints in Black Dust Rising. The moral ambiguity, the sweeping landscapes, the tense silences that feel louder than gunfire. But this time, there's no Kevin Costner, no John Dutton, just Cole Hauser pulling every thread himself, actor, director, co-writer, and producer. The cast, a Hauser Hall of Justice. In a nod to his Yellowstone roots, Hauser filled his cast with a mix of rising stars and seasoned scene stealers. His longtime friend and fellow Yellowstone co-star Forey J. Smith, who plays Lloyd, takes on the role of a whiskey-swigging deputy with a buried conscience. Riley Keough plays Annie Clay, a fiercely independent widow who runs a horse rescue sanctuary and ends up becoming Elijah's unlikely partner in vengeance. And then there's the wild card, Sam Elliott as Sheriff Beaumont, a lawman torn between his oath and his own sense of frontier justice. "We didn't want a black-and-white world," Hauser explained. "This film is about shades of gray, about what's right and what's necessary, and how often those two things don't overlap." Behind the camera, dust, blood, and heart. Shot over 42 grueling days in the New Mexico desert, the film boasts a level of authenticity that comes from the school of do it yourself or go home. Hauser insisted on practical effects, real locations, and yes, real horses. "There's a difference between filming the West and feeling the West," he said. "I wanted the audience to smell the sweat, taste the dirt, hear the silence." Hauser's direction is deliberate and masculine, with long takes that force viewers to sit in the tension. Gunfights erupt not with fanfare, but sudden, messy violence. The villain isn't a mustache-twirling caricature, but a bureaucrat in a top hat whose greed is sharper than any blade. And the final confrontation? Thick High Noon meets No Country for Old Men, with a splash of Yellowstone-grade vengeance. A soundtrack for sinners. The score, curated by Americana legend Sturgill Simpson, is a moody blend of outlaw country, electric blues, and frontier hymns. Simpson even recorded an original track, Rope and Remorse, that plays over the end credits, an aching ballad that could easily be Rip Wheeler's lullaby. "I wanted the music to hurt," Hauser said. "To feel like confession and confrontation in the same breath." The premiere, Stetsons and Stardust. The world premiere of Black Dust Rising at the SXSW Film Festival was less Hollywood glitz, more campfire grit. Hauser walked the black carpet in jeans and boots, flanked by his co-stars and his wife, Cynthia Daniel. His children, proudly donning mini cowboy hats, were front row for the screening. The crowd, a mix of Yellowstone diehards and indie film buffs, erupted into a standing ovation as the credits rolled. Critics praised Hauser's direction as surprisingly tender in its brutality, and a love letter to the broken men who built the West. One viewer was overheard saying, "That wasn't Rip Wheeler on screen, but damn if it wasn't his soul." A star reborn. With Yellowstone wrapping its final season and Taylor Sheridan's empire expanding across multiple spin-offs, Cole Hauser's transition to the director's chair comes at the perfect time. "This isn't a vanity project," said Sheridan in a recent interview. "Cole's always had that fire. He's got the eye, the instinct, the grit. Rip Wheeler may be a character, but Cole, he's the real deal." Hauser admits that directing has been on his mind for years. "I've worked with great storytellers my whole life. Gus Van Sant, Richard Linklater, and Toyin Fuqua. But on Yellowstone, I watched Taylor write and build a world from the inside out. I wanted to try that. I wanted to bleed a little." What's next? When asked about a sequel, Hauser chuckled. "I always knew Elijah Creel's story was one I wanted to tell in full. But I have other stories about wounded people, fierce landscapes, and the cost of survival." He's already in talks for a second feature, this time a neo-noir set in modern-day Montana. But one thing's certain, Hauser's not done with dust, danger, or the darkness between the lines. People think of Rip as this stoic badass, and he is, Hauser said. But the beauty is in what he's hiding. The same goes for my films. There's beauty in the brutality. You just have to look closely. Conclusion. With Black Dust Rising, Cole Hauser doesn't just direct a movie. He reclaims a genre. A Western for a new age, rooted in old pain and new blood. Rip Wheeler may be riding off into the sunset, but Cole Hauser is just getting started. And if this debut is any indication, the frontier's still wild, and he's ready to lead the charge.